It is Bobo Yamyams here with another great tale as we want to tear the program down. Tear it down. Oh, you saw my eyes, dang.
Bobo's gonna tell you a story, yo bro. So you better listen in, cause you don't know where it is going to go. Bobo's gonna press a button, and then ChatGPT will make him something that's gonna make us all giggle and laugh. And we all gonna write squiggles on our path in life. That's right, I don't know where this is going, but I know that we're having fun, so sit back and enjoy. Why? Because I'm about to make some noise with this weird ass prompt in this voice. And I don't know where it's gonna go, but we're gonna have fun doing it, bro. So just kick back with Bobo and the great program tales.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it. It is I, Bobo Yamyams, bringing the darkness upon all mankind. And whilst I do that attack on mankind, I will be drinking a UFO Florida citrus. Florida, real talk, is basically the end of all mankind. Like, you want that, just go there. We are going to try this beverage. It went down the wrong pipe. We are going to tell you a story today. Let's begin the story. Here is the prompt for those who want to stop the video and see what I thought of in my brain. And here we go. Ready? We're going to start. The Funk of the Omega Legends. Act 1. The Opening Jam. It was 1972, and the night was electric with anticipation. The Omega Legends, led by Zachary Z. James, a long-haired funk prophet with an unshakable aura of cool, was set to open for the mighty Led Zeppelin at Madison Square Garden. A smoke-choked haze of patchouli and incense filled the air, mixing with the scent of motor oil and beer. The crowd, a dazzling sea of denim, flared pants, and bell-bottoms, roared in anticipation. This was the epicenter of the 70s, a time of cosmic revolution, disco balls, and psychedelic vibes. Zachary, dressed in a glittering gold jumpsuit with wide collars, stood backstage, strumming his bass, his fingers slick with the rhythm of the funk that oozed from his soul. The Omega Legends, a band forged in the fires of rebellion and groove, were about to lay down the heaviest, smoothest, most righteous set of the decade. But fate, that cruel mistress, had different plans. As the Omega Legends hit their first note, a crackle of static surged throughout the sound system. A crowd fell silent for a split second, then erupted in cheers as the bass line came alive. Zachary's fingers danced around the strings, the beating pulse like a heartbeat. Until something strange happened. It was like the world blinked. A low hum vibrated through the floorboards. The lights flickered, and then, like a wave crashing against the shore, it came. A virus, a pandemic like no other, sweeping through the crowd like a black storm, invisible but crushing. In an instant, people began to choke, their eyes clouding over with an unnatural pallor. There was no time to run, no time to think. Some screamed, groaned. Others coughed and wheezed, their skin turning ashen. A low, guttural growl echoed from the pit of the arena as Zachary staggered back, suddenly dizzy, his vision blurry. "What the hell is going on?" shouted Jimmy Page, whose long, flowing hair was illuminated in the spotlight like an electric halo. John Bottom, ever the rock and roll warrior, reached for his drumsticks, eyes wide. "We gotta get out of here, lads!" But it was too late. Zachary could feel the virus crawling under his skin like 1,000 needles, injecting pure, unfiltered funk straight into his bloodstream. His senses overloaded. The music, his music, became a symphony of chaos. The air tasted very different. "Funk. Power," Zachary muttered, his voice turning raspy and primal. The world around him warped. The virus was not just biological. It was chemical. It was spiritual. Metaphysical. It was an apocalypse of vibration. He could feel it coursing through him, twisting his essence. And then he saw them. The others. The infected, or whatever they were now, moved in a slow, rhythmic, hypnotic trance. A gang of torches lit the darkened aisles of the arena, held by figures whose faces had melted into grotesque parodies of their former selves. Zachary's transformation began. Act 2. The Funk of Immortality. The movement, the moment he hit the ground, writhing, his vision fractured. His body seemed to pulse in time with the music, the once groovy, righteous vibrations now corrupted into something darker. His skin paled, and his teeth elongated into jagged fangs, sharp as the edge of a vinyl record. Led Zeppelin, witnessing the transformation, attempted to intervene. Robert Plant rushed towards him, his golden voice booming. "Zachary! Fight it! You've got to fight it! Zachary! Fight it! You've got to fight it!" But the infection was too strong, too powerful. The virus, an ancient energy, was not just biological. It was cosmic. It had become the very vibrations of the universe itself, twisted by the mass consciousness of humanity's greed, violence, and apathy. Zachary turned to them, his face now a mask of dark ecstasy and horror. "The funk is eternal, man," he said, his voice a strange, eerie mix of growl and groove. "But you're trapped in the old world, the establishment. I'm free now. I am the funk." And with that he was gone, his body dissolved into mist, vanishing into the chaos of the arena. The infected crowd howled, moving like a wave, all under his control. Led Zeppelin, heroes in their own right, realized they were in a battle far beyond their usual rock and roll antics. This was not a normal concert gone wrong. This was something far worse, something that could unravel the universe. "We've got to stop him," said Jimmy Page, his face etched with determination. "Before the funk spreads, we'll need more than just guitars for this." Act 3. The Battle of the Gods. As Zachary's vampiric army of funked-out zombies rampaged through the garden, the surviving members of Led Zeppelin transformed into something new, something powerful. They became the embodiment of rock and roll gods, summoning cosmic energy with every riff, beat, and howl. John Bonham, banging his drums with an intensity that shook the earth, summoned a storm of power. Lightning crackled from his sticks. Jimmy Page unleashed a guitar solo so distorted it bent space-time, shredding it. But it wasn't enough. Zachary, now fully in command of his vampiric self, had become the embodiment of funk. He danced, his movements slow and hypnotic, like a disco version of Nosferatu. His eyes glowed with an unnatural light, his body surrounded by an aura of pure chaos. "This world's over, boys," he hissed, his fangs gleaming in the spotlight. "The funk reigns now. The old world is dead. And you're next." The battle between the gods of rock and the funk vampire was biblical. Plants sang words of power, trying to reach Zachary, but each note was swallowed by the rising storm of an apocalyptic sound. Bonham pounded the drums like the hammer of the gods, but the virus, the funk, was everywhere, infecting, twisting, growing stronger with each beat. Finally, in the midst of the chaos, a strange figure appeared from the distance, a figure with a wild, crazed look in his eye, who resembled Cheswick from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, unhinged, demanding, and oddly incessant. "Give me my cigarettes! I need my smokes! This whole apocalypse thing is going down the drain without them! I need my cigarettes!" It was surreal, but his demands were real, as if the end of the world would be more tolerable with a pack of cigarettes in hand. Act 4. Escape and the bunker. The battle raged on, but Led Zeppelin knew they were losing. The funk was too potent, too absolute. Zachary was beyond saving. "We can't save him," Plant said grimly, his voice heavy with the weight of the truth. "But we can't survive. We have to. For the future. We have to." With that, they retreated into the shadows, leaving Madison Square Garden in flames. The members of Led Zeppelin formed an underground resistance, hidden in a secret bunker beneath the city. The rules for entry were simple. Only the best musicians could join. The bunker was a haven, an enclave of pure creativity, hidden from the apocalypse above. The walls were adorned with ancient symbols of rebellion, and the sound of music, guitar solos, thundering drums, and wailing vocals never stopped. Zachary's transformation was complete, and he ruled the world above as the vampire funk lord. The apocalypse, like all things in the 70s, had an unpredictable, groovy, and apocalyptic form. And in the shadows of the underground bunker, Led Zeppelin began their new battle, preparing for the next phase of the resistance, in a world where music, once the ultimate weapon, had become the ultimate curse. The war was beginning, and it would be fought not with bullets or with bombs, but with vibrations. And with that, we have our story. Please join our lovely little family by liking and by commenting another idea, for we will destroy the framework of all that man has normally constructed with avant-garde new resistance. We will flood the world with stories. And share this. May you gain our family. May it grow, and may we topple the old. And as always, thank you for being here. I gotta go get Matthias, see what he's up to.